BE International Marketing Syndrome Berhad is established in 2017. We are a dynamic, young and respectable company that achieved tremendous growth in just 2 years. Olora Pants with Kodenshi. It is the only award-winning pants and fully imported from Japan. We have sold over 500,000 pieces of Olora pants worldwide. B-Fill is the only heart health formulation, formulated in consultation with a Nobel laureate, Dr. Farid Murad. Shiruto, a vitamin for immunity with unique ingredient IPPA1 that is recognized by Chitra in Japan. B-Yul is a series of cutting-edge skincare products developed with the outstanding skin hydration technology from Korea. At the same time, we care about giving back to society. We have donated 360,000 ringgit to World Vision Malaysia to support their child sponsorship program, which has benefited and improved the lives of 100 children from Myanmar, Vietnam and Malaysia. We have supported Yayasan Generasi Gemilang, a total of 8 schools, and helped 371 students. We have donated 100,000 ringgit to Yayasan Jantung Malaysia to support their healthy heart awareness programs and activities. Our commitment to CSR projects have earned us the Asia Responsible Enterprise Awards area in Social Empowerment category. BE International is more than just a direct selling company. We strive to create wellness in every way for everyone. We empower people to improve their lives with our products and opportunities. Beyond inspiring minds, touching lives for eternity.
The human body has a sophisticated and subtle immune system. When it is functioning normally, this immune system will provide a 24-hour defensive shield for the body. However, we could still be infected by the pathogens and fall sick if our immune system is weak. This is because the macrophages in our immune system are inactive and they will not react to any pathogen. Thus, how do we ensure our macrophages function normally for 24 hours? Proprietary fermentation process. It serves as the most crucial and indispensable vitamin for our immune cells. The IPPA1 will bind with the macrophages receptors in order to activate the macrophages. Once the macrophages are awakened, they will protect our human cell by actively signaling to other immune cells to fight against and engulf the harmful foreign pathogens. Once they have destroyed all the pathogens, the macrophages will balance the immune system by regulating other immune cells to stop the attack. Then, the macrophages will clean up the environment by wiping out those destroyed pathogens, aged and diseased cells. Lastly, the macrophages will release the immune factors to promote the repair of the damaged tissues. The efficacy of this unique ingredient, IPPA1, has been clinically proven that it can effectively activate the macrophage activity. And it is 1,000 times more effective than beta-glucan and lactic acid bacteria. Shiruto is definitely the best vitamin for our immune system. A healthy immune system helps children to improve their immunity and reduce their chances of illnesses. For adults, it helps to reduce allergies and healing time of illnesses. Besides, it also helps the elderly to improve immunity and reduce various kinds of infections. Shiruto, vitamins of immunity. Awake your immune system. Enjoy a wholesome life.
What's in the box? Health? Business opportunity? Better quality of life? For over 20 years, we focused on building people. We believe in nurturing people and empowering them to achieve their dreams through our award-winning products. We are Elkin, Malaysia's leading homegrown direct selling company. We are poised to ignite the Elkin dream beyond borders to the world, enriching lives together.
One of the unique features of Forever is that we have a global leadership team. We call it GLT for short.
To enter the GLT program, you need to do what we call 7,500 case credits over a 12-month period.
Ser GLT é poder fazer parte das decisões da companhia sobre o futuro a nível mundial.
Being a GLT member means being that connection between the company executive and our forever business owners.
علاقة رائعة جدا بصراحة الستاف والناس العاملين بالإدارة وأيضا الGLT الثانيين صراحة جدا.
Privileg, mit all diesen tollen Führungskräften aus der ganzen Welt, diesen Forever Spirit auch zu spüren.
As a member of the GLT, I find it to be my responsibility to bring forward the questions and the thoughts and the ideas that we can make this company even better.
We will express what we want, what we need, and what we perceive to be the changes in the marketplace are, and the company, for their part, will express to us what their intentions are. And we bring the two together, and wherever possible, we try and match them for the mutual improvement for everybody.
C'est une confrérie de distributeurs qui sont des leaders. Et vraiment, c'est quelque chose qui nous fait vraiment plaisir d'être dans le GLT, mais c'est aussi un partage entre tout le monde.
صراحة تجربتي أن أكون عضو في الGLT تجربة جدا رائعة ومميزة لأنها نقلتنا من مرحلة إلى مرحلة أعلى وأفضل. فيها تعلمنا القيادة وفيها تعلمنا التخطيط وتعلمنا أمور جدا مفيدة.
Hát a legkedvesebb dolog az, hogy az a figyelmesség, amit ez a tagság jelent, az az erkölcsi, morális elismerés, amit a cégtől kapok. Ez talán a legfontosabb számomra.
Poder dizer assim, valeu a pena todo o esforço, todos os dias, todas as noites, toda semana, todo mês e o ano todo.
Das Wichtigste ist, die Entscheidung zu treffen, dort wirklich dabei zu sein. Und diese Entscheidung habe ich getroffen und ich war bereit, wirklich alles reinzugeben, um zu den Besten der Besten bei Forever zu gehören.
Some is here only after 2 years. It's unbelievable. Some is here after 10. It doesn't matter as long as you get here and you stay here. I can only recommend you take your first step and aim to GLC and to the top.
It's amazing that because I just said yes, it would change everything in my life. At first, I just fell in love with the product and the people with it. It's a wonderful thing to feel as good on the outside as I do on the inside.
I really wasn't interested in just another job. I wanted my dream career.
I mean, discovering Mary Kay literally changed my entire life.
To go and say, hey, we're here from Mary Kay and we're here to help you. Some people didn't even know how to respond.
It's like discovering a big sister, or even a hero. Ovarian cancer is a fight, you know? It's a fight that I refuse to back down from.
My friends started sharing pics online, running their own businesses. I thought I could do that easily.
Makeup, connecting with women, being my own boss. I mean, who wouldn't love going to work every day?
That kind of love and commitment, it spills over to your children's lives.
I've never felt stronger.
That's what I wanted to achieve.
That's why I love Mary Kay.
Since 1996, PHHP has been founded in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. Through its 3 main cultures, 4 core missions, and 5 corporate strengths, PHHP expands its business throughout Malaysia, meanwhile developing 3 major markets in Southeast Asia: Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. With a unique corporate philosophy, people happily helping people, PHHP provides the warmest and most efficient services to our customers. PHHP emphasizes product qualities, adheres to the stringent regulation in research and development, as well as in productions, and was granted certifications comply with international production standards. Our professional research and development team formulates phyto-herbal healthy food through natural ingredients to ensure our food safety and to bring you a nutritious and healthier life.
The lights are on. The field is ours. All focus is on us. Let's unlock our powers. Here we are to reignite our inner flame, bringing on our A game. Let's come and dream the same. Years of loyalty has given us a true identity. Our lives were ordinary, but we are now extraordinary. With a will to conquer, there's no time to ponder. Forging on together. It takes a team to make one stronger. Every second, every minute. Chasing our goals with no limit.
Hi-oh, it's on!
Together with the High-O spirit. Sahajida High-O. 28 is on. Let's do it.
Saya Crown Diamond Manager 2020. 3 sebab yang menyebabkan saya jatuh cinta dengan Siow kerana produknya yang super brand, solid dan eksklusif. Saya bermula dengan memakai konsep Premium Beautiful dan saya terasa kesan yang sangat positif dan saya yakin produk yang lain pun mesti super brand juga. Dan yang keduanya, syarikat mana yang mampu keluarkan bonus on time setiap bulan kalau bukan di Siow. Dan yang paling best, saya dapat merasakan percutian mewah dan eksklusif dan saya telah dapat pergi ke lebih 10 buah negara termasuk London, Paris serta Alhamdulillah Umrah. Saya percaya di Siow saya akan berjaya realisasikan segala impian. InsyaAllah. Siow, my choice for life.
Saya Crown Diamond Manager 2020. Mengapa saya memilih Siow? Pertama, produk. Kedua, gunung emas. Ketiga, bonus. Dan yang terakhir ialah sistem. Produk yang dikeluarkan oleh Siow sangat-sangat berkualiti. Lebih-lebih lagi produk kesihatan. Yang saya katakan tadi, Siow ini merupakan sebuah gunung emas. Sehingga kini saya telah merasa 5 percutian ke luar negara VVIP dan semuanya percuma saja. Seronok sangat kan? Siow menyediakan penyerta bonus bulanan. Kini saya berjaya memiliki Honda BRV dengan perniagaan sampingan bersama Siow. Dan yang terakhir, semestinya sistem yang mudah dan sistematik membuatkan saya lebih yakin dengan pilihan saya ini. Jadi, sebab-sebab inilah saya memilih untuk setia bersama Siow. Dan saya berharap lebih banyak peluang kepada semua usahawan Siow dan bersama kita jumpa di puncak kejayaan.
Saya adalah Crown Diamond Manager 2020. Okey, dulu saya bekerja sebagai seorang jururawat. Memang biasa-biasa dan langsung tak pandai berniaga. Setelah saya berbisnes bersama Siow, saya dapat buat jualan sebanyak 2 juta pada usia saya 26 tahun. Dengan kata berbisnes secara online sahaja, saya dapat pergi melancong ke overseas semasa umur 24 tahun. Dan saya sangat-sangat bersyukur kerana dengan bisnes Siow ni juga, saya dapat saving extra setiap bulan. Malah, saya juga dapat keluarkan kereta impian suami saya iaitu Honda Civic FC yang baru kepada beliau. Dan juga saya dapat membantu ubah ekonomi keluarga saya. Thank you, Siow.
Thank you very much, and we hope that the following message will be of sufficient importance for you to really take home and digest. I'd like at this time to introduce Dr. Forrest Shaklee.
Greetings, friends. I'm going to talk on the birthplace of success. The question is always put to us in one form or another. Why are Shaklee products so outstanding? The only answer that I can give to them, they are outstanding because the creator of these products, nature.
Given up when everything seemed dead wrong, you wouldn't be listening to what I have to say today.
ada tak satu peluang untuk jana pendapatan sambil anak saya depan mata? Bulan pertama saya dah dapat RM4,000 tanpa modal, tanpa stok.
Setelah 3 tahun ni saya rasa income kami pun dah dapat cover 2 gaji pekerjaan kami yang dulu dan malahan lebih lagi.
Bisnes yang mudah, mula-mula dengan apa yang kita ada, hanya dari rumah atau di mana sahaja kita berada. Saya tidak pernah membayangkan income pendapatan akan menjejaki sehingga 6 angka sebulan.
3 tahun sebelum anak saya darjah 1, saya dah berjaya berhenti kerja. Income daripada bisnes ni pun 10 kali ganda daripada gaji saya masa tu.
Kami boleh buat apa yang selama ni kami nak buat.
Sekarang kami ada banyak masa untuk anak-anak.
strange world today, a world that is beyond our recognition. The only thing that does not change is change itself. It is a brand new world, a new playground to most of us. How can we adapt to it and have fun, embrace it, and how can we acquire new knowledge and skill to excel? This convention is everything about it. Direct selling in the new norms. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Ken Tang. Welcome to DSAM Virtual Convention 2020. Thank you for streaming with us, and please make sure you adhere all the SOPs. Pay close attention to all the speakers to learn valuable industry insight, global views, and how digital adoptions can help you to do better direct selling business. Be encouraged and motivated, and win some exciting prizes along the way too. And now, ladies and gentlemen, could you please join hand with me to welcome the President of Direct Selling Associations Malaysia, Yang Berbahagia, Datuk Tan Chong Guan, on stage. Hi, Datuk.
Thank you, Ken.
The stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to DSAM first virtual convention in our 42 years. This is the first time we are coming to you live on TV. First of all, I'd like to thank Yang Berhormat Dato Sri Alexander Nantalinggi for gracing and opening our convention this time. The theme for our convention this year is called the new norm. Needless for me to explain the situation that we are in right now, this theme is so appropriate and apt. Why do I say that? Because the pandemic has brought to us something that we've never planned for, something that is coming right when we never expected it. But what happens when such things happen to us? We adapt. We adapt and we become better from here. We learn from this situation and take advantage of the opportunity. The impact of the COVID-19 has created new opportunities for us. We, being direct sellers, we like to be very positive. And the positives that the COVID-19 has brought for us is that people suddenly realize that there is an important to be healthy, and it is so much more important to have an additional stream of income. So what does that mean to you and me? That means direct selling companies have a great opportunity to reach out to people who in the past neglect or do not think that taking health food or nutritional supplements is important. It is also our opportunity for you, our members and your distributors, to go out and reach out to people who suddenly have lost their jobs and need an additional stream of income. My fellow DSAM members, the opportunity is now here. I urge you to embrace this technology and continue to believe in the industry to bring you to new heights. Many of us have in the past has come to the association to say that technology is a threat. Technology has created a situation where people are selling our products online. But let me assure you, we got to embrace that technology, use that technology to fight against technology. And I've said that many times before in our past meetings. Embrace tech, because COVID has brought new awareness, and the technology of the online tools will enable us to reach out to more people on the importance of taking care of our health, as well as putting in our effort to bring in an extra income so that our family, our children do not go through a difficult period like what we went through. I call this, in fact, even a national duty. Yes, it's your national duty to reach out to people who have lost jobs. Because if this situation continues, there are a lot of people who are going to be jobless. It's going to create a social issue. And we want our country to be safe and peaceful as long as we live. So I call this a national duty. Make use of all the online tools available to you to reach out to these people who are begging to look for an opportunity. So there you are. Go right out, be confident of the industry. We, as an association, are right behind you to push forward and address the issues that are facing our industry. Be rest assured that Lawrence, myself, and the board in DSAM, we are working very hard to try to address the issues facing our industry right now. We pride ourselves in regulating our members, and our code of ethics is largely used by many, including government agencies, in creating a safe environment for consumers to get involved in the direct sales business. Be ethical. We are working hard to address the issues, like I said, that is facing our industry right now. And two big issues come to mind. One, e-commerce platforms, and two, the ever-present scourge of pyramid schemes and scams. If you notice right now, you tend to get a lot of calls when you're in the middle of something. And in the past, before the COVID, when you're overseas, you get calls from real estate agents, from people posing as bankers offering you loans. These are the things that are new in the industry that we need to address. And be rest assured, the board, the team, with Lawrence, we are working very hard to sort this out for you and for the industry. The ASEAN Permanent Secretariat is based in Kuala Lumpur. We are proud to say that Malaysia, which is ranked 4th in Asia Pacific and 7th in the world, is recognized by our fellow brother and sister DSAs in ASEAN. And the Permanent Secretariat is in our DSAM office. Recently, we had a new member join us in the ASEAN President's DSA Working Group, and that is the beautiful country of Myanmar. And Myanmar just went through an election, and we wait and look forward to the time when the direct selling law is going to be gazetted in Myanmar, and we welcome our new member into our ASEAN brotherhood. We managed to rope in India to be a member of the ASEAN DSA. We are also working very closely with the government of China to include them, to invite them to attend our proceedings so that they become more aware of what the direct selling industry does for the member companies, as well as in self-regulating us, our members, to ensure a safe and equitable platform for everyone who is involved in this business. I'd like to thank the sponsors and our guest speakers in this virtual convention. I'd like to thank you, our members, because DSAM can only be as strong as your participation. Welcome to the new normal. Let's embrace the technology. And like we always say in our member companies convention, see you at the top. Thank you.
you, Datuk C.G. Tan, President of Direct Selling Associations Malaysia. Well, I do agree with you, Datuk. This pandemic has actually created a new opportunities for the industry. Therefore, fellow members of the industry, this opportunity is here. It is for you to embrace the technology and continues to believe in the industry to bring you to a new height. Whether it is a sunrise or it is a sunset, it is entirely up to us. Well, without further ado, right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is our great honor to have Yang Berhad Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalinggi, Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please once again welcome Yang Berhad Datuk Alexander Nantalinggi.
Yang berbahagia, Datuk Tan Chong Guan, the Direct Selling Association of Malaysia President, DSAM board members, DSAM member companies, and independent distributors of direct selling companies. Good afternoon. First and foremost, I am honored to be speaking to all of you from the direct selling industry today, even though in a virtual form. I must congratulate the Direct Selling Association of Malaysia for embracing the changes that have been put forth to us with the onset of the pandemic this year, with organizing a virtual convention. Now, this sets a good example to the people and shows that players in this industry respects the need to practice social distancing and adoption of the new norms in daily activities. I believe this format of a virtual convention will have the potential to reach a wider perspective of audience, and many more will experience the benefits that will be conveyed in the next 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, the direct selling industry in Malaysia has been on a healthy growth from year to year. The sales generated by this industry in the year 2018 was at 15.9 billion ringgit, high above the target of 15 billion ringgit for that year. The target for the year 2019 was increased to 17 billion ringgit. And I'm proud to announce that as of September the year 2020, the sales figures that were reported to us have been at the threshold at 17.8 billion ringgit. This achievement placed Malaysia direct selling industry to the rank 7th in the world in terms of sales generated, or 4th in the Asia Pacific region, as reported by the World Federations of Direct Selling Association, or WFDSA, in their Global Direct Selling 2019 Retail Sales Report. Congratulations, well done, and shabas to all of you. Amid the current economic circumstances, I pray that the industry would be able to achieve its 20 billion ringgit target for this year, the year of 2020. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs is fully committed to support the industry, especially in difficult times like this. Ladies and gentlemen, recently we have embarked on an ease of doing business initiative in which the ministry will make it easier and more efficient for our industries to operate their businesses. First, the renewal of the direct selling license, which we fondly call Akta Jualan Langsung, has been simply modified or modified simply. The process has been shortened, but all the necessary compliances are still in effect. And second, the applications for promotions, campaigns, and advertisements have been made easier. Companies now only need to notify the ministry before the beginning of these campaigns. In doing so, the ministry has shown that it has the full trust and confidence of the direct selling industry, complying to all rules and regulations. In a roundtable discussion that we had with the industry in the third quarter of this year, DSAM had raised a few issues on behalf of its members. Among them are the proposed amendment to the existing Direct Sales and Anti-Pyramid Schemes Act 1993, and the issue of unauthorized sale of direct selling products by online e-commerce platforms. The ministry has taken note of these serious points raised, and we will be working with DSAM to find amiable solutions to these issues. I was told that the discussion between the ministry, online e-commerce service provider, and the direct selling industry on this issue had to be postponed recently due to the Conditional Movement Control Order. Rest assured, the ministry will continue with these interactions when the situation permits. Under the budget 2021, government has demonstrated the commitment to recover the economy and help all industries, including the direct selling industry. The ministry has also bid for tax incentives for industries under our supervision. As many would have noted, tax incentives are available for companies adapting Industrial Revolution 4.0, technology transformation related services, and digitalization technology. We are currently formulating a direct selling industrial plan for the RMK 12, and we hope to work closely together with the direct selling industry to set a clear strategic directions towards industrial empowerment and a meaningful socio-economic development. Hopefully, we would be able to launch this plan by the first quarter of next year. This year, the COVID-19 has a significant effect on all of us. Many have lost or have reduced source of income, and almost all businesses are affected. So, one of the goals of this virtual convention is to provide the tools and to empower DSAM members and the distributors to succeed in this new normal. And I hope that all distributors out there will benefit from the content of today's event. It is time to fully utilize our company's virtual and online resources which were available previously but not fully exploited. And lastly, I would like to express the ministry's continued commitment and support to the direct selling industry. I would also like to congratulate DSAM for being conferred the highest ranking of Platinum by the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations for association management. With this, I hereby officiate the DSAM Virtual Convention 2020. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih Yang Berhormat for the assurance and the ministry's support towards the industry. Dear members, I hope you are still with us right now, as the next 90 minutes will be an exciting and informative sessions for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have 3 distinguished speakers from different regions today, streaming with us to share their perspectives, outlook, and tool needed for companies and distributors to excel in the new norms. Let us welcome our first speakers for today. Streaming from Langkawi is Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Lim Siow Jin, founder and CEO of DXN Holdings Berhad.
First of all, I wish to express my appreciation for DSAM to give me the opportunity to say a few words in this virtual convention about the new form in M&M industry. Due to the challenges from the internet and online marketing and also the lockdown of the city during the present pandemic of COVID-19, for most of us in the M&M industry, we know that the industry need to change and adapt to the new challenges. As you all can see from the recent November 11 promotion in China, the so-called Bachelor Day sales, their one day of sales superseded the whole year sales of the top few company of M&M. Youngsters love to shop online and are reluctant to come for the meeting and training of M&M. So the online marketing actually posed a direct threat to M&M. Now is the lockdown due to COVID, the availability of raw material, finished products, and the distribution of goods are seriously affected. This poses the second direct threat to M&M. I'm happy to share with you that in the last few years, we have successfully competed against the online companies and how we pull ourselves out from the stagnancy due to the COVID. And today, let me discuss with you how we do it in the actual practice. A few years ago, we found that less and less people, especially the youngsters, are reluctant to come for the training and meetings. And the cost of training in the hotel become ever more costly. It has become less and less practical for us to keep on renting the conference room of the hotel for training and meeting. So in M&M, we are trained to believe that it is a people-to-people industry. We must meet face-to-face with our clients or members in order to push the sales. When this kind of real-time and physical meeting become more and more difficult, the only choice for us is to hold a meeting over the cyberspace or online meeting. About 3 years ago, we realized that we need to set up the Cyber HQ to link all the markets through internet meetings. Then we started to subscribe to online marketing apps like the webinar and etc. For DXN, we even purchased a piece of land in Cyberjaya to establish our Cyber HQ for this purpose. But members demand a face-to-face meeting. They are not used to online meeting like webinar and etc. So we keep on educating the members, and I myself set up a lot of webinar meeting to meet the members. At first, the response is lukewarm, but when more and more leaders know that it is cheaper and much more convenient to activate the market, and you can do it from home and using the online marketing tools provided by the company, then they feel like doing it. Even before the outbreak of the COVID, most of the meetings in DXN were already conducted using webinar and etc. And every year, our sales expand at a rate of 20 to 30%. This is the direct proof that online marketing is very positive to the market growth. Not only that, internet meetings can break the geographical barrier, and we started to expand worldwide through internet meetings. Till today, we have branches over 80 countries and our products have been promoted into more than 100 countries. Another challenge from online marketing is that members undercut the price and sell it at online shop, and also a lot of counterfeit products sold openly in online shops. We have to constantly educate the member that the products they buy from online shop may be counterfeit, and we shall take serious action to those who promote our products in online shop. So in DSAM, we strongly discourage our members from selling the products in the online shops and also the retail shop. So far, this is quite effective, and the problem of undercutting of price is basically solved. With the outbreak of COVID, initially our sales plunged heavily. This is very alarming. Many things are out of our control. When a lockdown instruction is issued by the government, we have to comply with it. And for the first time in history, the market is locked down. Then we take this opportunity to communicate with the members that online marketing and training is their only choice. Even myself started to take video and post in social media and mobilize the members to watch it. We stopped our physical meetings and go 100% online. Since before that, we were already experimenting with online purchase in order to compete against the pure online company. The online system is totally activated, and we engage the market aggressively through the online sales. Before the COVID, some members were reluctant to go online order, but suddenly they left with no choice now, and DSAM became a pure online company. Even a few years ago, I'm telling the market, we never worry about the competition from the online company, because what they can do, we can do. But what we can do, like personal touch and personal experience, they may not be able to do. We are going to compete them out, not the other way. We are almost a year into COVID pandemic and lockdown now. Thanks to the online sales and online meeting, the sales of DSAM is actually better than the sales before the pandemic. So the first paradigm change for the MM company is to go online. Make it 100% online. Remember, what the online company can do, we can do. And what we can do, not necessarily they can do. And today, we find that I'm wearing a kimono. I'm not wearing it for fun or want to make myself look like a karate master. This is a message we want to send to the market that we are engaging is upgrading the socio-economy. You may wonder, what the kimono has anything to do with the socio-economy? And why does an MM company need to engage with the socio-economy? Can it improve the sales? 2 years ago, DSAM purchased a piece of land in Sidibit, near Hyderabad of the Telangana state of India, to build our main factory in India. This is right in the cotton belt and a lot of cotton farmers. The local government asked whether DSAM can help those poor cotton farmers. When I studied cotton farming in India, suddenly we found that the cotton is full of blood and tears. For the past 10 years, there are 300,000 farmers in India committed suicide. Majority of them were cotton farmers because they changed the seed to GMO seeds, where the seed company claimed to be pest resistant and drought resistant. And it is very costly, and many farmers bought the idea and on loan to buy the seeds. The result is catastrophic. Certain pests develop the resistance and wipe up a great area of cotton plantation. And due to the weather warming, many planting areas were hit by drought, and the cotton died in masses. Many farmers could not pay back the loan and committed suicide. In order to help the cotton farmer, I started the kimono campaign, because kimono can be made from 100% cotton, and we allocate $10 for every kimono sold. Today we have sold tens of thousands of kimono, and many DXM members started to wear kimono to support the program. Now, with the onslaught of COVID, the socio economy turned down from bad to worst. MLM is the industry of the people and for the people. If the economy went down, went burst, so will MLM. So to engage in the socio economy uplifting is important for the MLM in long-term survival too. How can an MLM company help to promote the socio economy? Now, first, we can help to promote the goods and products. DXN alone has more than 10 million members worldwide. We ourselves is the market. Secondly, many of us have in-house technology. That DXN is an expert in mushroom farming, spirulina farming, fermentation of fruits, production of beverage, cosmetic, household products. Many of these we can transfer the technology to the small entrepreneur. Then DXN launched the One Skill for One Family campaign. Let many families be self-employed and not depend on jobs to sustain their living. In Malaysia, Felda and the Langkawi Development Authority, LADA, have engaged DXN to help to provide training, processing of products, and market the products from the Punuroka or the palm oil farmer, the B40 groups, and also the Ibu Tangga or the single mother group. We launched the training for mushroom, and this is the core business of DXN, and sell the fresh mushroom to members. The response is overwhelming. Many members love to participate and buy the mushroom to support it. We are having initial success in Kedah and Langkawi, in central Malaysia and southern states like Johor too. Social economy is not only helping the poor to be financially independent, it gives the few good factors for the members and the public, especially the public. They have bad feeling for MLM, but through the mobilizations of social economy, we found that traditionally those who are against MLM started to join us. Even the government give us a lot of facility, not only in Malaysia, but in Indonesia, in Philippines, in India, in Ethiopia, in Mexico, and etc. Recently, IMSAM appointed me as the Goodwill Ambassador for Spirulina to fight against the malnutrition. Then I launched the $1 for one child campaign. Each child needs about 100 grams of spirulina, which costs us about $1 to distribute. So we told the member, $1 just costs you a cup of coffee, and it is life and death for an acute malnutrition child for 1 month. The response is also overwhelming, and the Dubai government even give us land to establish the integrated spirulina farm in Dubai and coffee factory. So the second paradigm is actually the traditional value of MLM, just that we reactivate it. That our business is from people and for the people. The few good factors will make DXN welcome by the public and the government too. Last but not least, each MLM company should produce their own core and unique products, but not depend solely on OEM. Over the years, the owner of some MLM company invited me for coffee and discussed how to solve the market problem in MLM. My first advice to them is to go fully online. Okay. Then my second advice is to ask them to produce their own core products. Today, the market is not like 10 years ago. Many suppliers will come and beg us to sell the products. Now the sons and daughters can easily set up the online and internet sales for them. If you are not careful, your supplier will become your competitor. You will find that similar products are flooding in the market at the fraction of your selling price. I think you need not get an astronomer to look at your nasib, or predict your future in the market. No fortune telling is necessary. If your supplier become your competitor and flood the products on the internet cheaply, you die. There are many advantages to produce your own core products. You can control the quality. You can control the supply chain. Your product is unique and cannot be copied and sold in the internet. And most importantly, when the sales are good, you have the economy of sales, and you can find your profit margin increasing steadily. Above are the 3 key points for the new paradigm in MIM for online. Above are the 3 key points for the new paradigm in MIM: go online, go social, and go productions. Thank you very much for listening to me. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Datuk Dr. Lim, for your time and effort to share your thoughts with us. Following our next speakers, streaming from China, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big welcome for Mr. Lam Yu, Managing Director of Infinitus Global, to share with us his perspectives.
马来西亚直销协会的各位同仁，大家好！特别感谢大会主办方马来西亚直销协会，即便没人在现场，也能给予这样一个机会，和大家一起交流分享。这对于无限极和本人来说，都是一种荣誉，非常感谢。转眼间，2020年就要结束了。今年的这场疫情，正如今天的大会主题所昭示的，全球经济以及包括直销在内的各行各业，都在面临着一个新的常态。在新的常态下，有些大门暂时被关上了，比如很多跨境交流、跨境旅游和线下活动都无法正常进行。但这些都是暂时的，随着各国疫情逐步得到控制，这些被关上的大门一定会慢慢重新开启。而有些变化则是不可逆的，疫情带来的隔离措施，使得消费者越来越习惯和依赖线上的购物和社交，直销很多传统的做法因此受到了线上经济的冲击。即便在疫情结束，消费者的习惯和认知也很难，也不会回到原来从前的那样。但与此同时，疫情也给我们打开了另一扇门，另一扇窗。经过这场危机，我们更清楚地看到了自身的不足和差距，从而更加积极地去拥抱数字化，更加紧迫地深化各项改革变革，加速了整个行业的转型升级。这就是我们面临的新常态。在这个新的常态下，永远不变的是变。我们所要做的就是让自己拥有一个反脆弱的能力，尽快的适应这个新的常态，拥抱这个新的常态。那么，怎么样才能更好的适应、拥抱这个新常态呢？首先，我想分享的是，越是在不确定的时候，就需要看到问题的本质，在不确定中寻找确定。第一个可以确定的是，无论时代怎么发展，人们对健康快乐的追求没有改变。尤其是疫情之后，人们进一步认识到了健康免疫的重要性，而有相当大的比例的直销企业所从事的业务都与健康相关。所以，对于我们整个行业来讲，这就是一个巨大的机会点。第二个可以确定的是，无论环境怎么改变，人性没有改变，人们对自我实现的需求没有改变。人们需要有收入来源，有志同道合的朋友，还要有一份能够实现自我价值的事业。而直销在满足这些需求方面具有自己的优势，尤其是在经济面临下行压力的时候，这种优势会更加明显。第三个可以确定的是，不论商业怎么进步，商业的底层逻辑没有改变。从古至今，所有的生意都是基于人与人之间的信任。在信息嘈杂的互联网时代，人们反而更加愿意为信任买单。在商业社交化的大趋势下，直销已经具备了一定的先发优势。当然，在这样一个席卷全球的严冬里，直销行业面临的挑战也是一个巨大的。 我们整个行业急需解决、深化和升级，成为能够适应变化、穿越严冬的一种新物种。我们要更加主动地吸引新人群。现在，年轻人日益成为消费和就业的主力军，他们不论是消费需求还是创业倾向，都比上一辈更加的积极活跃。我们要提升和年轻人的沟通力，创新符合他们需求的产品和服务，并且让事业拓展模式更加轻量化，为他们提供更灵活多样的创业选择。我们要更加进取地拓展新渠道，消费者去到哪里，我们就要去到哪里。所以全渠道或者说线上线下的融合，就是我们必选项。正所谓线下温度，线上是速度。如果我们能够保持线下温度的同时，补齐线上速度这块短板，直销就一定能走得更远。我们要更加完善地打造新平台。今天，我们进入了一个平台赋能的时代，人们对创业的理解不单是单打独斗，而是要更倾向于依托于一个好的平台，通过平台赋能的资源、能力、信用来满足创业的需求，而直销就是一种符合时代潮流的平台型企业。我们需要做的是通过数字化升级、计酬方式的优化来进一步为创业者赋能，让平台焕发新的生机。我们要更加积极地树立新形象，直销应该要拥抱有更大的包容性，去拥抱更多的群体、更大的趋势以及更广阔的未来。因此，整个直销界都应该重新定义成功，不应该只盯着业绩和规模这样的数字，而要让自己和主流社会产生更多的连接，更加积极地为他人、为社会贡献价值，树立富有责任感、时代感的新形象。有人说，人类将进入第4消费时代，在未来，商品即社交，营销即互动。而我认为，这是商业的未来，也是直销的未来。让我们一起努力，用新的标准衡量自己，重新定义成功，重新定义直销，开创充满希望与活力的新的直销时代。祝大家身体健康，家庭幸福，事业有成。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Mr. Lam Yu, for the insight views. And it is our great honor to present to you our next speaker, streaming from California, United States, Mr. Roger Barnett, Chairman and CEO of Shaklee Corporations and Chairman of World Federations of Direct Selling Associations, WFDSA.
Salamat Petang. My name is Roger Barnett, and I am the chairman of the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations. I've also had the privilege of running Shaklee Corporation for the last 16 years. But first, I would like to thank you for coming to this amazing conference. And in particular, I want to thank the president, Datuk Tang Chong Guang, and also the executive director, Lawrence Chia of the Malaysia Direct Selling Association, for putting on this event. Such a critical time in both the world economy, the local Malaysian economy, and at this moment of transition for the direct selling industry. It's fantastic that we have all gathered together today. I want to say also first a congratulations to all the member companies of the Malaysia Direct Selling Association for having a 20-year track record of direct selling industry growth within Malaysia. And that history of growth has been through economic recessions, pandemics, other kinds of unfortunate incidences, through good times and through bad. Our industry has been able to grow and make a positive contribution to the local communities and the entire country of Malaysia in which you operate. So that's a remarkable track record, and congratulations on that. I'd like to talk to you about the theme of this event, which is sort of the new norms. And ever since the pandemic has spread to virtually every country around the world, companies, people, governments have had to address this fundamental challenge to global health, but it also comes with an incredible toll, not just on human health, but the economic and economies of countries, which in turn impacts people's health and livelihood and well-being as well. And this is why I feel so passionately that at this moment, all of us that are part of the direct selling industry have a moment to rise and shine and play an incredibly important role. And our mission and opportunity, I think, as an industry is to redefine, reinvent, and reimagine what direct selling means today and in the next decade to come. So let me just pause and say why I think it's so important. The Malaysia economy, like so many others, was growing until COVID hit, and then it retracted. And unemployment nearly doubled in the months after the beginning phase of the pandemic to approximately 5% or so. But what is even more dramatic is the unemployment rate among young people increased to 12 or 13%. And Malaysia is a rapidly growing population, and the majority of the people are young. And if there's not economic opportunity for the youth in Malaysia, then it's going to be a significant challenge for the overall country. And this pandemic struck almost out of nowhere, and no government policy can react fast enough in any country in order to try to prevent both the health impact and the immediate short-term economic impact. But again, this is where I think we can increase and we can be helpful. So the first lesson that we have learned in the business that I'm part of, but also around the world in virtually every country, is consumers have embraced and accelerated the transition to digital. Because physical stores and physical locations and even company physical offices have to be suspended, it has taken the beginning phases of digital and accelerated to that where that has now become the new norm or the new normal. And so I strongly encourage each and every one of our member companies to accelerate and advance your own digital platforms. We were fortunate that we just launched a new one in January, which is not only from an e-commerce standpoint, but you also have to think of your customer support, your service, and your training, and bring that online so that people can access it wherever they are located. The second thing I think it's so important for each of us to be able to do is to bring a sense of positive support and community. And we have to learn how to build community, not just physically, but also online as well. And in times of challenges, where family members may get impacted from a health perspective, and so many people will have at least one family member who has lost their job, it's hard not to be overwhelmed and to be anxious. And so that also impacts your health and well-being, and to be able to provide a positive community of support with creating an opportunity to build a business in a digital manner can give so much hope to so many. And we've seen many companies in our industry accelerate our growth and their growth during this time because people are looking and searching for alternative additional ways that they can provide for their family. And direct selling, what I like to say, is the most established way for people to earn additional income with the longest track record of any industry that I know. More than 100 years history of this over the track record. And so now we sit back and say, well, can we redefine or reimagine and reinvent our industry? And I've seen it in our own business where we had so much was reliant and dependent upon physical meetings, physical branches and stores, physical training and physical recognition. And we really have to reimagine it to say, how do we do it digitally? How can we add that layer of virtual on top of the physical so that we can keep everybody safe, but also keep the economy going and income opportunities going? I want to say one personal story about Malaysia. It's one of my favorite countries in the world. And what I love about it is that it is truly one of the most diverse countries in the world. From an ethnic perspective, from a religious perspective, it's a country that is inclusive of so many different people. And I think increasingly that is what the world is going to be. And to show and see how different ethnic groups and religions can coexist peacefully and cooperate with each other and respect each other creates an incredible opportunity to make Malaysia a beacon of what it means to be in a pluralistic society today. And it's one of the fastest growing countries in Southeast Asia. And for a moment in time, there were some trends around health that were negative, but I think if we all gather together, there's an opportunity to educate people in this peer-to-peer manner, which is the hallmark of our industry, about ways to take control of your life, whether it's from a health perspective, a beauty perspective, a cooking perspective, whatever the different businesses that our industry represents. Every company in our industry creates a product that in some measure helps make life better for our customers. And because of the nature of our channel, we also provide an income opportunity for those that share. And so it's such a wonderful ability to earn an income while helping somebody live a better life in some way. And I think particularly amongst young people, that idea of being in control of your own time, of being able to design a business using and running it from your phone, about being able to do something that helps not only yourself, but others as well. That's universally appealing in almost every country in the world. And based on my experience and knowledge with the people in Malaysia that I've had the privilege of interacting with, it is true, especially of Malaysia. So at the end of the day, the most precious resource of any country is always the people. And in Malaysia, we have incredible people, hardworking, kind, good people. You also have fantastic food, which I know is very important to most of the Malaysians that I know. You have a beautiful country, and you have some benefit of natural resources, but again, the biggest resource is the people. And that's what our industry helps people do. They help channel and empower people to live up to their full human potential. And in this new world, to do and embrace digital ways of business, to embrace and reimagine, how do your employees going to work? How are you going to interact with your customers? And how are you going to empower your distributors to form relationships and connections in a non-physical way? So many questions, but I just encourage you one thing. We are very creative human beings. And people in Malaysia are very creative. I encourage you to not take anything for granted. Use this as an opportunity to really rethink the future and accelerate your plans as you march towards that. That's what we have done as a company, and things that we said absolutely no before, we are now embracing. And we're embracing remote and virtual, and we're embracing community and spending a lot of time saying, how can we form this connection online? How do we leverage technology to empower, not to detract? How do we, instead of replacing people with technology, use technology to make people better? And how can we service our customers even more so that we can provide a better outcome for them and a better outcome for the company and a better outcome for the general society? So I know this is going to be a fascinating conference with all the different speakers that are happening. I want to thank you for your contributions. I'm so proud of the work and the 20-year track record of growth that the Direct Selling Association has had in Malaysia. And I know that we will continue and accelerate that as more and more people embrace the flexible, purposeful, meaningful, digital earnings opportunity that all of us represent. So with that, I just want to leave you with one other word. I miss Malaysia. I haven't been there in about a year. I look forward to coming back. In the meantime, I just want to say, terima kasih. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roger, for taking time off to share with us your perspectives. I particularly like what Roger said, that this is the time for our industry to rise and to shine, to play an important role and also an opportunity for the industry to redefine, reinvent, and reimagine our direct selling business. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take a minute of your precious time as I would like to make this special announcement. DSAM will be donating 60,000 ringgit to the Ministry of Health frontliners in the fight against the COVID-19. And on behalf of DSAM, I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciations to all our sponsors in supporting the initiatives to the Ministry of Health. Thank you once again for your support to make a difference in our community. Alright, before we head on to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is due time for a coffee break. But before I let you go into the coffee break, I want to see if you are really paying attention in today's event. Can you tell me how many times this cute little penguin appeared in our stream? How many times this cute little penguin appeared in our screen? Okay? Scan this QR code or click the link in the descriptions to answer. The first 50 correct answer will win a prize. And ladies and gentlemen, a small note that is only available for Malaysia Direct Selling Association's members only. It is only for DSAM members only to take part. For the rest of you, I know many people are following us today from around the world. Thank you for participating. Anyway, you can still guess, all right? Now, before I let you go for the 5 minutes break, I would like to give you a reader. This reader will be in Bahasa Melayu. For overseas followers, please read the captions, the subtitle for it, so that you can be part of the fun. The reader is, jika gajah, elephant. Jika gajah jadi ayam, jika kambing jadi ayam, jika kucing jadi ayam, maka ayam jadi apa? Can you guess it? I give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is, jika gajah jadi ayam, kambing jadi ayam, kucing jadi ayam, ayam akan jadi banyak. Can you guess it? Thank you for well, have a little fun with me. And thank you for following the stream so far, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I really let you go for your 5 minutes of coffee break. Do come back on time to join us in T-minus 5 minutes from now, because after this coffee break, we will learn how to capitalize, how to actually use digital technology to help us to do a better direct selling business. So I see you in 5.
For the past 4 decades, Direct Selling Association of Malaysia, DSAM, has been recognized as a trusted de facto voice for the industry. Today, our voice has never been clearer or louder, all in the name of safeguarding our members, distributors, and consumers alike. DSAM has been at the forefront of the challenges faced by our distributors, always steaming ahead thanks to its strong ties with the ministries. Back when the industry was still in its infancy, DSAM worked closely with the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs to strengthen the Direct Selling Act, and continues to maintain excellent working partnerships with various players until today. We also work closely with other government bodies, such as the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Health. We are 100% committed to upholding the interest of our member companies and consumers with integrity and efficiency. Ensuring ethical business practices is paramount to us and our members of the industry. We strive to advocate professionalism with a mission to support direct selling companies in the areas of governance, education, communications, consumer protection, and ethics. We take pride in our code of conduct that holds the direct selling industry up to the highest standards. More recently, in 2017, the Ethics Council was formed to tackle the growing number of reports of illegal schemes. On the regional front, DSAM works closely with direct selling associations in ASEAN. Globally, DSAM is ranked platinum by the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations, the leading international non-governmental organization representing the industry worldwide. DSAM believes in business without borders. We wholeheartedly support the idea that this business is a source of empowerment for people all over the world. We strive to achieve recognition as a world-class industry and a top-of-mind position among the world's biggest direct-selling nations. In fact, there's much to celebrate. In 2019, Malaysia was ranked number 7 in the world and 4th place in Asia Pacific in terms of revenue, with a total of 18.7 billion ringgit. In Malaysia, this industry has attracted more than 3.2 million active distributors, with women dominating the field at 64%. We are still rapidly growing. In the midst of a worldwide pandemic and recession, the direct selling industry has only become more resilient, stronger, and bigger. As a testament to their agility and adaptability, DSAM has tirelessly campaigned for amendments to the Direct Selling Act in order to remain relevant in the 21st century. DSAM is proud to empower our members to embrace digitalization in this new norm. Let us lead the way in helping you to grow and excel your business further. Reimagine, reinvent, and redefine your direct selling business today.
Welcome back, dear member companies and distributors. Hope you have had a great coffee and toilet break. As you have heard the insight from the industry speakers, now we move on to our next speaker. She is a social media keynote speaker, consultant, coach specializing in direct selling and provide businesses with unique, customized marketing solutions that get measurable results. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sam Hind, Director of Auxano Marketing Australia.
Hello there, Malaysia. We are so excited to be joining you today from Australia. My name is Sam and I am really excited and privileged to be able to share this training with you today on how to use social media to grow your direct selling business. Now, whether you're watching this as a distributor and you're wanting some tips and tricks and some help, maybe some strategies, or you're a company that's joining us today and you're looking at how you can better support your distributors, you're all going to leave today with some amazing tools that you're going to be able to implement straight away. We are really privileged to be members of the DSA in Australia, and we're going to share with you some strategies that we've been teaching direct sellers for years, that we know work, that are proven, and we're really excited to be able to do this with you today. So let's dive on in. Now, I want to start off, of course, by inviting you to jump over and follow our Facebook page. Goes without saying, I know, but we are constantly putting training and tips and downloads up on our page, and we would love to have you join us over there. So if you want to jump on, I've popped the details up on the screen for you so you can follow us and we can be a part of that journey with you. Now, something else that's really exciting is if you like to learn on the go, you like to be able to listen to training in the car, we've created a podcast especially for direct sellers. This podcast is completely free and it's all about how you can grow your business on social media. We have interviewed some amazing leaders in the direct selling industry over the last 12 months, and we've included loads of tips and tricks and interesting strategies and trainings that will help you on that journey. So jump on over there and check that out as well. Now, as we go into this session today, I want to talk a little bit about what tends to hold us back on social media. What are some of the things that get in the way of distributors reaching their ideal customers? What are some of the things that cause us to not get that success we want on social media? For all of us, it's a little bit different. I want to talk about what those things are because it's very difficult if we don't recognize what's getting in our way. It's very difficult to move on and apply the strategies that work. So let's have a little bit of a look at these. And as I go through them, I'd love for you to think about, if you're a distributor, what is holding you back? Are some of these things resonating with you? Maybe you're a marketer or a CEO in your company and you're watching this session and you're thinking, yeah, I can see how some of these things are definitely affecting our distributors and you'd like to know how to help them further. I'm going to share with you some tools to get around that. The first of these is a fear of pestering family and friends. One of the challenges that we have when we start a direct selling business in party plan or network marketing or MLM, we start out with our original connections, our family and friends, the people that we know how to reach right now. But eventually those leads get exhausted and we get to a point where we've got to make a choice. Are we going to continue selling to family and friends again and again, or are we going to find ourselves some new leads outside of that existing network of people? This is where a lot of distributors get really stuck. For many, they don't know how to reach outside of their existing family and friends. And for others, they don't want to because it's easy to sell to them. What I don't want to do is teach you how to hound them. We're going to give you some tools today to help you with this. But if this is something today that you think gets in your way, that frustrates you, that's a bit of a struggle for you, don't worry, you're not alone. Another challenge for many people in this industry is wasting time and getting no results. I know that this is a problem for people even outside of this industry. Facebook and Instagram are a great place to waste a lot of time. And one of the things that becomes particularly frustrating is when we think we're doing all the right things. We're putting posts out there, we're listening to what our leaders are saying, we're even listening to trainings like this, and we just don't seem to be getting the breakthrough and reaching our ideal customers. And we wonder why the post that we've just spent hours perfecting is not getting any results. You know what I mean? Because you've spent all of that time creating that perfect image or trying to think of the perfect words to go with that image. And then for whatever reason, it falls on deaf ears. You get no reach and no interaction. And then you feel like I've just wasted all of my precious time. Well, your time is precious, so don't fear. We're going to help you with that. Another big challenge for direct sellers is a fear of putting themselves out there on social media, even a fear of sharing their business with the world. What will people think? What will happen when I click the button? What if it all goes wrong? The next is the fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? What if my post doesn't work? What if my page doesn't work? What if I get no sales? What if I'm not as good as the next person? This is another big challenge that gets in our way of being successful. That also brings up this one here. This one I know is a big problem right now, because when we're using social media from a personal perspective, we jump into our Facebook feeds and we watch what other people are doing. We pay attention to what other people are up to on social media, and we look at influencers out there. We see what they're doing and we think, I can't compare to that. I don't know how to be as good on video as she is, or I don't look like that, or how do I present this way, or how do I take a photo like that, or I don't even know how to use that tool that that person just used. And so in many cases, it's easier to not even try. I'd really like to encourage you. Be yourself. People connect with people that they like, know, and trust on social media. And you are ideal and perfect exactly as you are. The only way that you're going to be able to effectively reach through that computer screen or through that mobile phone and connect with your perfect people are by being yourself. So let's stop the comparison game, because it's not going to help you grow. In fact, it's one of the biggest mistakes that people make today on social media, is they spend all of their time trying to be somebody else, and they miss that just by being themselves, that's the one key that they needed to break the code. The last, but definitely not the least, is the sense of overwhelm. That feeling that there's just so much going on Facebook and Instagram, I don't know where to start. Or it keeps changing. What do I do next? How do I get around this? How do I do what this next person is doing? Or even there is so much learning out there. Sam's just another person telling me what to do. Who do I listen to? That sense of overwhelm is completely normal. It's also a big issue for many of those of us that didn't grow up in school with technology like the kids are now. And so for so many of us, we feel like it's just easier to not start. You don't know what to do next, and so you do nothing. But here's a little question. Would you love to have your perfect customers coming to you? Would you love to be reaching your tribe, we like to call it, your ideal customers? Those are those customers that not only value you, they buy from you, they repeat buy from you, but they also bring you joy. These are the customers that are shouting about you to their family and friends. They're telling everybody about how great you are, how great the business is, how great the products are, and they're spreading word of mouth about you. They're the sort of person that when a new product comes out or a special, they're the first one that you pick the phone up to. How would it be for you in your business right now if these perfect customers were coming to you? They were reaching out to you. We're going to show you how to get that to happen. Now, I also want to encourage you that it's the smallest things that make the biggest difference. I know that as we go through this training today, you're going to take a lot of notes. You're going to jot down loads of different things that you want to apply in your business right now. Loads of things that you think, oh, right, I should be doing this or I should be doing that. But I'd like to encourage you to just jot down 1 to 3 things on a piece of paper as I'm talking today. In fact, right now, I would encourage you to write down the numbers 1, 2, and 3 on a bit of paper in front of you. And as I'm presenting to you today, I would like you to fill in next to those things 3 things that you commit to doing in your business in the next 24 hours. I want you to commit to me that you're going to do that. Because these three things are the three things that are going to make the greatest change in your business right now. Now, this little testimony that I'm sharing with you on the screen at the moment is from somebody that listened to a training at a conference very much like this one I'm sharing with you today, just 6 months ago. Now, this particular person didn't apply everything she noted down in her notebook. She just applied a couple of little changes into her business. All she did was change the time of day that she was posting. She posted slightly differently. She tried asking a question. She interacted with her customers, and she used a couple of little strategies that I'm going to suggest to you today. And within 2 weeks, she sent us this little message telling us about the amazing results she was starting to see come through for her. Now, what gets me most excited about this is not the reach. It's not even the engagement, which in itself is great. It was the fact that she got 3 inquiries from brand new people, people she'd never reached before, people that weren't within her circle of family and friends. How cool would that be? So here's a little tip for you. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So make sure that you jot down on that bit of paper as I'm talking today, your 1, 2, or 3 things that you're going to implement in the next 24 hours. Let's make a deal that you're going to do those things. They could be really little or they could be a little bit bigger. It's completely up to you. But the things that you do are the things that make the change. I know that when I go to a conference, I like to take a ton of notes. I get really excited. But that notebook with all the notes that I took often ends up gathering dust on a bookshelf. Because we've all got good intentions. You'll go away from this and you'll open up that notebook and you'll think, right, let's apply this stuff in our business. Let's do all of the things that I learnt today. But the reality is that we get busy and we don't know which one to apply first. So we close the notebook, we put it aside, and we think we'll come back to it later, and we never do. So 3 things today. That's the message. So here's another little question. I'd like you to ponder this. How would it change your business to be getting new customer leads easily, no matter what your technical experience? I know that for some of you, this would be game-changing for you in your business right now. Okay, so what does Sam know about all of this? I know I've been talking to you about how we specialize in direct selling and how we help you grow your business on social media. But why am I specializing in this space? Do I know anything about this industry? Well, to answer that, yes. I actually started my very first direct selling business at the age of 14. I grew up with my dad in a small country town in South Australia. My dad was a businessman, but he was always in a very difficult financial position. He was always struggling. And I felt the need to help, to take some responsibility. At 14, I started looking for a job. But unfortunately in Australia, at 14 years old, you're not legally employable. So this meant I was going to have to find a different way. Now, I came across this direct selling business that sold cosmetics, and I got really excited. They didn't care about how old I was. They didn't care about my technical ability, my experience. All they really cared about was my attitude and how hard I would try. And they would pay me based on that. So I decided to give it a go. Now, as part of my learning with this direct selling company, I started to watch what other consultants were doing. I felt that it was really important that I learn by observing. And back then, there wasn't a lot of training available. We certainly didn't have training online like you do today. So I started watching, and something I observed happening was really confusing me. I noticed consultants were doing things like dropping catalogues on a doorstep with a note to say, I'll be back in 7 days. Or they would leave a note in a letterbox asking if someone might be interested in having a party or getting a catalogue or the products. And they were waiting for the customers essentially to approach them or to come to them. I thought this seemed a little strange. Why weren't they taking the extra step to knock on the door, to go and see someone, to have a conversation, to meet people, to build the relationship? When I realised something, a lot of these people were afraid to get the no. Now, I was very young. I hadn't experienced life yet. I hadn't had as many knockbacks as most people have at my age. And I realized that, you know what, I'm willing to go out there and get some no's, and so I did. I started speaking to anyone that would talk to me. I started knocking on doors. Now, what I learned really, really quickly is people don't want to hear about what I'm here to talk about. They want to build a relationship. They want to get to know me. They want me to get to know them. So I started a focus on building relationships. I built my business around building relationships. Now, by 16 years old, I had got my business to the point where my income per month had surpassed that of my dad's. I was earning more per month than my dad was. I was able to support my way through all of my extracurricular activities. I was able to buy a lot of my own clothes, and I was having a great time. But most importantly, I'd got myself to the stage where I was one of the top 10 leaders in the company in Australia. But by the age of 18, because direct selling is maybe a bit of a misunderstood industry, I feel, especially in Australia, my dad told me it's time to go out and get a real job. And so I had to enter the workforce, and I left my direct selling business behind. I moved into a marketing role where I got the opportunity to build on my communication, my relationship building, and I had a great time doing this. But there was something missing. Something that I noticed was missing was a connection with the industry that had changed my life, that I knew was changing the lives of so many others out there. I wanted to apply everything I had learned to the industry I loved so much. Now, after 11 years of working with one of the biggest marketing companies in Australia, I decided to step out. And although I did jump out and try and start my own direct selling business a number of times, I'm still really passionate about this business, and you know, from time to time, I get the feeling I really kind of wish I was sitting in your seats. But I do know that this is where I'm meant to be. Each time I stepped into a direct selling role, the company would approach me and ask me to please train their field because of what I had learned over the years and the knowledge I could bring to the table to help each and every one of you. Now I take joy each and every day in teaching direct sellers exclusively how to use these skills to grow their businesses on social media. We now use all of this information to simplify the complicated to all people that want to grow a direct selling business. Whether they are technically experienced, whether they're older, younger, it doesn't matter. We don't discriminate. We're going to show you today how to use social media as a powerful vehicle. But this is all about relationships. Now, I am here today to teach you about social media, but I don't want you to give up the human contact and interaction. Our industry is what we consider to be a belly-to-belly industry. It's all about human contact and interaction. It's about building meaningful relationships, picking the phone up, having a one-on-one conversation, doing an in-home party or event. Understandably, that is really difficult for a lot of us right now, depending on whereabouts you are. But what I don't want you to do is use social media as a way to replace human contact and interaction. I would really encourage you to use social media to enhance your relationship building and your business. It's a fantastic place to make new connections, meet people you've never met before, generate leads, and it's also a great place for you to build on those relationships you've already made. But when you get the opportunity to pick the phone up, go for a coffee, meet with someone, have an in-home party or demonstration, still definitely do that. Our company that we operate is called Auxano Marketing. Auxano is a Greek word that means to cause to grow and become greater. And this, in essence, is all we do. But we only do it now in the direct selling industry. So let me give you a few numbers. Let's jump on in and have a look at a few things that I think will interest you when it comes to social media and the opportunity that's out there for you right now. 2.6 billion monthly active users are the number of Facebook users out there right now, worldwide. Of these people, 1.73 billion of them use their Facebook feed at least once every single day. This includes Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. Facebook owns all of them now. So to a degree, we have to be aware of how they're all operating in conjunction with each other. But don't worry about that, that will come later. Facebook now reaches 60.6% of internet users worldwide. What a great opportunity. And how about this? Of all those people that are using Facebook every single day, their average visit time is 59 minutes. That's a massive amount of potential exposure. So why is it such a problem to reach our ideal customers? Why is it that when we put a post out there, people aren't seeing it? We're not getting the interaction we want. It just doesn't seem to be working. Why aren't thousands of people seeing everything that we do? Well, this is all because of the algorithm. I'm going to explain to you what is going on in the background of Facebook and Instagram. But I just want to encourage you to know that knowledge is power. Having an understanding is almost as powerful as knowing what to do. Because if I tell you everything you need to do right now and you don't understand why this is so important, it's unlikely that you're going to apply it the right way. So, let me tell you a little bit about why everything I'm about to teach you really matters. Around about 5 or 6 years ago, Facebook realized it was becoming a very busy place. Businesses at that point had realized that they had a captive audience on social media. And so as a result, businesses were actively promoting, selling business opportunities, services, products, and it became a very promotional and spammy environment. What happened was that Facebook users began leaving the platform. Thousands, hundreds of thousands. And Facebook realized that it was going to have to adapt and become smarter if it was going to keep the platform operating effectively. So it incorporated a program that operates in the background of Facebook called the algorithm. This program is changing every minute of every day. And its sole job is to learn everything there is to learn about each and every one of you. It learns things like what websites you go to, what you do for a living, how old you are, if you're a man or a woman. It learns things like what car you drive, what your family life looks like, and even your household income. It uses all of this information to deliver you only the content it knows that you want to see, with the intention of keeping you on the Facebook platform for longer and more frequently. So to put this in really simple terms, your Facebook and Instagram feed is customized to you like a fingerprint. There are no two the same, and it is for you and you alone. So, how do we get around it? Naturally, when we have a business, our program is to tell people what we want them to hear in order to get them to do what we want them to do. Here is my product. I want you to buy it from me. Here is my business. I want you to join me. Here is my service. I want you to book with me. And naturally, this algorithm picks this information up and it says that information, that post is all about you. It isn't interesting to the end user and we're not going to show it to anybody. This is why when we put a post out there on Facebook or Instagram and we haven't considered our audience, that algorithm isn't going to show it to them. And we get no reach, we get no engagement, we get no leads. It doesn't work. So, how do we get that growth on social media we want? How do we beat the algorithm? The secret to ultimate social media success is simply providing value. If we can work out how we can provide value to our ideal customer, how we can reach into what really matters to them, and we can show the algorithm that we mean it, then suddenly our stuff gets seen by more people and we get greater success. A little question to those of you that are watching today who are with one of the direct selling companies. Maybe you're a marketing manager, you might be in training, you could be a CEO of a company. Little question for you. How would your company look if your distributors were confidently connecting with their ideal customers rather than trying to please everyone? In addition to that, how would things look differently for you if they were representing the business, the brand, and the products with pride? if they knew how to communicate all the information about the business effectively. Do you know top leaders in direct selling are all confident in one thing? They know exactly who they're serving and they don't waste time and energy to please the many. They know exactly who they're reaching and they spend their time focusing on those people. So ask yourself this question. Are you trying to reach the one or the many? Do you know when we try to please everyone, we end up pleasing no one? So if there's one thing that you pick up from this training today, I would really like you to encourage to consider this. Who are you talking to? What I mean by that is, who is your tribe? Who's your ideal customer? Who's that perfect customer that you love working with, that if you could duplicate or clone that person 100 times over, you would? When I mentioned earlier in the session today that you might have that one customer that values you, that you value in return, that brings you joy, that you know you can pick the phone up to and you can speak to at any time, that you love sharing your products with them and the specials that come up, that you know spreads word of mouth about your business. If you could clone or duplicate that person, what would they look like? Something to keep in mind is that if you aren't making social media content for someone, you're making it for absolutely no one. The thing is that for a lot of us, when we start thinking about that ideal customer, we also start thinking about, well, if I get so specific about who I'm reaching, if I'm really clear about who I want to reach and I use particular words and particular images, am I going to disqualify or alienate other people that might be willing to buy from me as well? And the answer is no. The reason is because when you get really clear about your messaging and really specific about who you're here to serve, other people outside of that group are also going to be attracted to you. Trust me, we have seen it work time and time again. As soon as you embrace this concept, it changes so much about your business. But the other thing it changes is the joy that you feel in your business because you're really clear about who the people are out there that you're serving, why you're serving them, and how you're going to serve them. So what are some of the things you should get to know about your ideal customer? We also like to call this an avatar or your tribe. Here are a few things that you should definitely think about. The first is their age. Age means different demographics. Their gender, are they male or female? Keeping in mind that you'll speak to men and women in very different ways. You also want to think about what's their career life look like. Do they have their own business? Are they self-employed? Do they work for somebody? Are they a stay-at-home parent? What's their work life look like? All of these things bring different challenges in life. In addition, what does their family life look like? Do they have kids? If they do, how old are they? Remembering that different age children brings different challenges in life. Also, what are their interests? When you know what their interests are, it makes it very easy for you to tap into those things. And their behaviours. Once you've answered all of these questions and many, many more, anything you can think of, there's nothing too small to be important. There are two golden questions that I would encourage you to answer about that ideal customer. These golden questions will formulate everything you do in your business, right down to your social media marketing. But there's a much bigger picture. I'm sure you can start to see that. So these two golden questions are really important. Pop yourself in your customer's shoes and think about this. First of all, what keeps them up at night? This means what challenges them in life? What problems do they want to solve? What bothers them? What frustrates them? What keeps them up at night? The next one is, what gets them up in the morning? This means, what do they value? What brings them joy? What makes their heart sing? What do they get excited about? When you know the answer to these two questions, you're able then to apply everything that you do on social media to be either improving their life or reducing their pain. Thinking about solving a problem, maybe even just understanding a problem, and then think to yourself about, am I serving them? What is in my post that I'm about to put up right now that addresses something that they love or maybe addresses something that they don't love? This will also help you to keep your messaging clear and consistent. So let's have a little bit of a look now at the Facebook growth formula. One of the most common questions I get asked is, Sam, should I be setting up a personal profile, a business page, or a group for my direct selling business? And my answer to you is all three are very powerful. They all have benefits and they all have some negatives as well. If, however, you haven't got all three set up at the moment and you're thinking, where should I start? I would encourage you to start with a business page. A Facebook business page has got some powerful and amazing tools available to you. And you're thinking big picture when you do this. So I'm going to give you some tips right now for all three of these things. But we're going to focus for a little moment on Facebook specifically. However, a lot of the tips I'm going to leave you with shortly also relate to Instagram. But let's focus on Facebook today. First of all, let's have a little bit of a look at personal profiles. Personal profiles are what you first set up when you join Facebook. That's where you use your name and you connect with family and friends. You ask them to be your friend or you send them a friend request. They accept the friend request and then you're connected and you can see each other's posts and profiles. This is a place to share what's going on in your world. What do you get up to with your family? What's happening for you? Might even be where you're sharing what you're having for breakfast or lunch, like so many people do on social media. That's where all of that personal content happens. However, it is not the place to be actively selling. It is a fantastic place for you to connect with your family and friends, to share your journey in your business, your story, what you're getting up to. But it is not the place to be actively selling your products or your business opportunity. Be very careful. Now, if you're thinking, I think I'm going to do that anyway, Sam, because it looks like an easy place to do that. Just be very careful because it is against Facebook's rules of use to sell any product, service, or business opportunity directly through a Facebook personal profile. That is intended to be done on a business page. And if you are actively doing this directly through your personal profile, you may find yourself in a bit of hot water because you are breaching Facebook's rules. You can, however, share a post from your business page to your personal profile, as long as it doesn't originate on your personal profile. So, can you share a post about your product or about the business? Absolutely, for sure. But you can't post on your personal profile telling people, here's my link to buy from me. Here's a product, you should purchase it from me. All of that needs to happen on a business page, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So some of the things that I encourage you to do to use a personal profile effectively. First of all, share your story. Your story is so powerful. At the beginning of today's session, I shared a little bit of my story. So a question for you, when I shared that story, did you feel a little bit more connected? Did you feel like you knew me a little bit better? Maybe even more willing to listen to what I had to say today because you felt like you got it, you knew a little bit more about me? Maybe you even felt a little bit of that passion I feel for this amazing industry. Your story is very powerful, but it doesn't have to be a big story. It doesn't have to be life-changing. It could be as simple as why you love your product so much, why you're in the business in the first place. Maybe how having the financial freedom has changed your life. That is life-changing. But it could be just as simple as, I love these products. They make me happy and they bring me joy. That is still your story. Your story might even be a customer experience, an experience you've had working with a particular customer. There's loads of ways that you can share your story, but your personal profile is a great place to do that in a very gentle and appropriate way. Also, make sure that you use your personal profile to inspire people and create curiosity. Don't tell everybody everything that they need to know. If you give away the farm and you tell everyone everything, like here's the product, here's what it costs, here's the link to buy it, they've got nothing left to come to you about. So inspire and create curiosity. Tell them just what they need to know, give them just enough, and let them come to you for the rest. Also, be considerate. It is a personal profile, and avoid that selling. And when it's appropriate, when invited, Messenger is a fantastic tool to have further conversations with people that do want to know a little bit more from you, that do reach out and say, hey, that sounds great, I want to know more. So let's have a look now at groups. Groups are all about the community, a fantastic place for you to nurture your audience. A group is something you can set up once you have a personal profile, and it could be created around a number of different things. But the difference between a group and a personal profile is, number one, with a group, you can have as many people in there as you want. There's no limit. The other thing is that everyone is equally posting. So if I post in a group, so can every other member in there. So it's a great place for you to create community environment and conversation. You can give added value that others can't access, because unless you're a member of the group, you can't see what's going on in there. There are 3 different types of groups that I think are very powerful in this direct selling industry. And we encourage members of our online trainings to create some of these types of groups. And we've seen them do some amazing growth in their business by doing this. So these 3 types of groups are this. Number one, you could have a group for your team. This could be a group where you communicate, you educate, you inspire, and you motivate your team. People underneath your downline, whatever terminology you use in your business. The next type of group you could set up, and by the way, you can have multiple groups. You don't only get one, you can have as many as you want. You can also set up a customer group. This could be a VIP group. This could be a group for your customers to share extra products with them. Maybe specials that they can't get anywhere else. Maybe important announcements. Maybe you give them added value in a multitude of different ways, but your group is a great place to do that. The last type of group I want to talk to you about is one of the most powerful, and this is where you can often generate leads and new customers from if you do this really well. This is what we call a special interest group. Now, a special interest group is something that you set up once you get to know your ideal customer well enough to know what they care about. So let's just say that I recognize that my ideal customer is someone who is gluten-free. They don't eat gluten and they love recipes that help them eat yummy foods without having gluten in them. So I might therefore go ahead and set up a gluten-free group where everyone in that group is sharing their tips, their tricks, their recipes. Now, this doesn't necessarily need to be about my business or my product specifically, but it's a great place for you to attract more of your ideal customers. Once you recognize that a lot of your ideal customers are people that enjoy gluten-free cooking, then by setting this group up, it gives you a chance to draw more of those people in. Now, when it's appropriate, and only when it's appropriate, you then get the opportunity to start having some conversations with new people. But tread very carefully. Spend a bit of time warming them up first, getting to know them. Don't jump straight on into the sell just because they've joined the group. But if you use a special interest group well, they can be very, very powerful. So let's have a look now at my favorite, the Facebook business page. Facebook business pages are one of the most powerful things you can use on Facebook. Facebook's actually trying to help you grow your business. Why? Because when you're doing well on Facebook, Facebook's doing well. It wants you to deliver great posts out there. It wants you to give it content that keeps people on the platform. So let's have a little bit of a look at why business pages are so great. Why am I such a fan of business pages? Here are some of the reasons. First of all, there is no limit to followers. On your personal profile, you are limited to 5,000 followers. This means that you are limiting your business if you only ever set up a personal profile. On a business page, not only is there no limit, but it's also publicly viewable. I will often get a phone call from somebody who is in Struggle Street because they have set up a personal profile and they've built their direct selling business using only that. And what they find happens is they cap at 5,000 followers. Then they wonder, what do I do next? So I get a phone call saying, Sam, I've got this growing business, it's doing amazingly well, but now I don't know how to expand my personal profile past 5,000 followers and people can't follow me anymore. The answer is you can't. You've limited your business. I also do not recommend opening personal profiles up to being publicly viewable. And the reason for that is because a personal profile is where you share a lot of what goes on in your personal life. Things like family, etc. The only time a publicly viewable personal profile I think is okay is if you've set it up exclusively for your business. But even then you have to be very careful. So I definitely recommend that in order for public to reach you, to find you and to refer you, use a business page. The other thing with a business page that's amazing is that not only can you have a simple call to action to simplify your sales, you can also manage your posts and utilize Facebook Insights. Facebook Insights are very powerful things. Facebook will tell you what posts are working, which ones aren't. Instagram will also tell you this information. What posts are working, which posts aren't, what's reaching people, what they're clicking on, even which posts are causing people to leave your page altogether. All of this information is available to you for free and it's easily accessible if you know where to find it. Something else that's very powerful is, remember I said to you before that Facebook knows everything there is to know about each and every one of you. Facebook doesn't take that information and hold it to itself. It also uses that information to help you as a business to learn. And so what it does is it releases it out to you. If you know where to go, you can access Facebook Audience Insights, an amazing tool that tells you all about your customers. It will also tell you about another business's customers. It's completely legal. It's not telling you the personal information of an individual, but it will tell you the demographics of an audience as a whole. So for example, I could go to the Nike Facebook page. I could look that up and I could find out what sort of people are following the Nike page. What gender are they, their age, and I can also see what their interests are. What pages do they follow? What public speakers do they listen to? What books do they read? Facebook will tell me all of this information. So if you're wondering, how do I find out more of that information about that ideal customer you were talking about earlier, Sam? Well, you can use Facebook to help you find this information out. Of course, one of the most powerful things you can do with your business page is generate leads. Reach more people outside of your existing family and friends. So let's have a little bit of a look now at how you can beat that algorithm. How do you get your posts seen by more people? How do you reach more of your perfect people and get them to actually click, get them to pay attention? Well, here are a few tips to help you right now. The first is be consistent or you will be non-existent. This means you need to be posting regularly. Now, I just want to put one thing out there. I don't want to see you wasting lots of time on social media. And if you're a company watching this right now, I don't want to encourage your field to be spending hours a day or a week using Facebook or Instagram just to get results. It's not necessary. What I want you to do is spend more time doing the things in your business that get you results. But I do want you spending your time wisely on social media. Get in, do what you've got to do, and get out and do the other things that matter. So, be consistent is important, but it doesn't mean spend lots of time. I just want to clarify that. So what I mean by be consistent is on Facebook, you need to be posting 5 to 7 times a week. On Instagram, we encourage you to post daily. If you want to post more than that, I would suggest use Facebook or Instagram stories. And if you're going to post less than 5 times a week, you could very well be wasting your valuable time. So get into a bit of a routine and a rhythm. We're actually going to give you a very special little download in the session today, a cheat sheet to help you with a number of the things I'm talking to you about today. I'll share that with you in a moment. Another great tip I can give you is take your own images. Now, I know that your company is going to have loads of tips and tricks out there for you. They'll have loads of beautiful images that they've taken. but start getting into the habit of taking some of your own images. Why is this important? Because it helps people connect with you. It helps people see how you use your products, how you interact with your business. It's so much more relatable. And I have no doubt you all have smartphones in your pockets. That camera on your smartphone is one of the world's most powerful cameras. So get in and play with it, use it, practice. And you'll be surprised at how much more interaction you get when you start taking your very own photos. The next thing I encourage you to do is follow the most commonly known but commonly ignored rule of social media. That is the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is that 80% of all of your content, meaning your posts, that you put out there on social media should first and foremost be engaging, interesting, entertaining to your target customer. When you get that right, and only when you get that right, do you earn the right to do 20% of self-promotion. However, most successful leaders in direct selling go closer to 100% of their content being educational, entertaining, informative, and interesting. And they do almost no self-promotion. So, how do you promote if you're not promoting? Well, there are lots of very clever ways you can promote without promoting. You can product place by sharing with people what you're doing with your favorite product. There are lots of things that you can do that are very subtle ways of selling without selling. And it's what I mentioned before, creating curiosity and intrigue. Sharing a recipe, for example, the recipe that involves one of your ingredients. Let people come to you to ask a little bit more about where do I get it? Another thing that's really important here, and I know I've mentioned this a number of times throughout the session today, is provide value. Make sure that no matter what, your focus first and foremost is, am I providing my ideal customer value? Am I sharing things with them that they care about and that they want to see? Am I giving them information that matters to them? Here's a little tip for you. Your customer's favorite subject is themselves, and their favorite word in their language is their own name. How can you direct some of your posts, some of your content, some of what you do to be all about them, to make them feel super special? Now, I do have, as I just mentioned to you, a very special little cheat sheet download I'd love to offer for you to download. You can share this with your team. And this is a summary of our 10 simple steps to transform your Facebook posts. We've got a little link up on the screen here so you can grab that, type that in, and we will email that download through to you. If you're a company right now, you are absolutely welcome to share this with your field. We would love to offer this to you to share with everybody to help them get better results on social media. So a few more little tips. All of these, as I mentioned, are included in this Simple Steps cheat sheet. The next one is be conversational. One of the things that we forget to do on social media is being social. Remember, it's two-way marketing. It's all about speaking to your customers. If I put a post out there, I have to be ready and willing to interact with people. Also, use your post to ask questions, ask for engagement, ask for interaction, get their responses and re-interact with them. Make it conversational. One of the posts on Facebook that will always be the most successful is what we call a conversational post. This is where somebody uses the post to ask a question. And then people comment on that post answering the question, but there are little conversations that happen underneath that post, backwards and forwards. So for example, you might ask the question, if you could travel anywhere in the world right now and COVID weren't a problem, where would you go? And one of your customers or one of your Facebook followers answers with Hawaii. You could come back to them and ask them, wow, I'd love to go to Hawaii. Have you been before? This is a fantastic way for you to get further interaction on your page. That customer or follower is likely to come back and interact again, and you can start a little mini conversation underneath your post. What happens when you do this is Facebook shows the post to more people. It picks up that the post is popular and it keeps pushing it out. Your reach will increase, your engagement will continue to increase, and it's a little bit of a snowball effect. Trust me, it works. Also remember, Facebook and Instagram prioritize video. So everywhere you possibly can, utilize video. There are lots of different ways that you can do video. Don't panic if you don't want to be doing Facebook Lives and have your face on camera. That's okay. You can turn images into videos. There are lots of clever things that you can do here. A couple of things to avoid just very quickly. The first one is Google Images. Now what I mean by this is, let's just say that you want to share a picture of a puppy on your Facebook feed. So you go to Google, you search for puppy, you click on images, and you copy an image and you paste it into your Facebook or Instagram feed. First of all, that image doesn't belong to you. So technically it's theft. We've got to be a bit careful there because we don't want to be taking images that aren't ours. Second of all, when you take an image off one website and put it onto another, you'll find that you reduce the quality of the image and it will often end up fuzzy and pixelated. So lastly though, if you do take Google Images, they'll often have little watermarks or brands from other businesses. It's not a good look, so it's best to get your images from a source that you know is okay. I mentioned before, take your own images. That's the most powerful thing you can do. But I have no doubt your company probably has a beautiful gallery of images approved, ready for you to use. You'll also find there's lots of free stock image sites out there with images that you absolutely can go ahead and grab and put on social media. They'll be high quality, it'll be legal, and they'll be the right quality as well. Next thing is sharing from Instagram to Facebook. You'll notice that on Instagram, when you put a post up, there'll be a little button there that says, would you like to share this post to Facebook? Be very careful, because as soon as you hit that button, you will lose around about 30% of your potential reach. Why does this happen? It happens because Facebook knows you didn't customize that post for its platform. Although Facebook owns Instagram, both platforms work differently. We need to apply our posts differently. So for example, on Instagram, you should definitely be using up to 30 hashtags, between 7 and 30 hashtags. And although there can be a lot of strategy around your hashtags, they can also be a little bit random if you're learning. And that's okay. On Instagram, you can get away with that. But on Facebook, it's recommended that you use few or no hashtags. It used to be that you shouldn't use any at all. That in recent times has changed. On Facebook, somewhere between 1 and 3 hashtags every now and again, and only when strategic is okay. But if you're using more than 3 hashtags and you're doing it on every post, you'll find that your posts are often going to be shown to less people. Now I want to leave you with this one very important tip. Focus on building engagement, not numbers. It would be far more powerful for you to have 100 people following you that are engaged with what you do, that are loving your products, your business, that would love to buy from you, than having 1,000 people that couldn't care less, that are never going to buy from you. So focus on your engagement. The numbers will come. They'll follow naturally. Look at how you can interact and the rest will happen. So I said at the start today that I want you to write down 1 to 3 things that you're going to apply in your business in the next 24 hours. I want you to have a bit of a think now about that promise that we made between you and I. What's your one thing that you're going to do in the next 24 hours? I don't mind if it's really little. I don't mind if it's really big, but I really want you to apply something in your business now, maybe something that you've learnt today, or maybe something you just feel inspired by that's popped into your mind as I've been chatting. The thing that you do is the thing that creates change. Very lastly, I would love to invite you to register for our live Q&A and a free 30-minute power webinar, where I would love to teach you the 3 keys for social media success in 2020. The link is up on the screen. You're welcome to share this with as many people as you think in your team might get value out of this, and we would love to have you come and join us. I'd love to catch up with you live and answer all of the questions that you've got from the session today. Want to leave you with this last little thing. The only impossible journey is the one that you never begin. It just starts with a small step. Maybe you're somebody today that's been using social media for years, but you're just struggling to get people to pay attention to what you're doing. Maybe you just want some tips and strategies to help you get to that next stage and step. Or maybe you've been really successful on social media and you just want a little bit of extra help to take it to that next level. Or maybe you've never started on social media. Maybe you've never set up a Facebook profile before and you're ready and you want to get going. Just remember that wherever you are, it's completely okay to take it at your own pace. Nobody else's, just yours. Now, thank you so very much for having me today. It's been such a pleasure and a privilege to be able to work with the DSA of Malaysia, and I hope that you've got some really useful information out of this session. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to reach out to us, please find us on Facebook, but have an amazing rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and I hope to see you all again very soon on our live 30-minute power webinar. Bye for now, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, Sam, for sharing your journey and experience with us. And I hope all of you find Sam's sharing useful in how to use social media to grow your direct selling business. As we close this event, I'm sure this convention has been as insightful and informative for you as it has been for me. Before we say goodbye, hashtag stay safe, hashtag stay healthy, hashtag success, hashtag determine. Oh, too many hashtags. Oh, okay, one last one. Hashtag see you at the top. Guys, remember this. DSAM's got you. Wait. Look at this.
Hi DSAM family members.
Why? Let's embrace the new norm together. Why?
We are always here for you, online and offline.
Why?
Let's reimagine direct selling in the new norm.
Why?
Always aiming ahead, together with you.
Let's redefine how we do what we love to do.
Why?
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Why?
Hi, always follow the SOP.
Let's revamp ourselves by focusing on the positivity.
Why?
DSAM.
DSAM
Got you.
Got you.
got you.
Got you.
Got you.
DSAM got you.
DSAM.
DSAM.
DSAM's got you.
DSAM got you.